Hello? Hello, I'm going live. Is there anyone out there who can hear me talking? Let's see. Hello? Anyone out there that can hear me talking? Oh, you can hear me. Okay, great. I have the chat going so I can see if anyone says anything in chat too. So, hi. Hello. Okay. Well, today we are going to do Easter cupcakes. I'm joining up with some other cake decorators out there, and I'm the first one to do a live demo today, and I'm kind of jumping on last minute. So, just been scrambling around getting ready for this. I've pulled an all-nighter. It's been a little hectic, but we're here. And for the next hour, you have me. This is 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and noon, 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time for those who live in my area. Welcome. So we're going to do a couple different Easter cupcakes. We're going to do a bunny. We're going to do a chick. We're going to do a carrot sitting in dirt and maybe some eggs if we have time. And we'll just see how that goes. But yeah, awesome. Thanks for coming. So I just want to make sure you guys can see everything okay. Maybe we'll go down just a little bit more and I'll just have to crouch. I've got a low table. So anyway, so I've already made my cupcakes here. What I highly recommend, I used to work in a cupcake shop. So I've done a lot of cupcakes over the years, like an insane amount of cupcakes. And what I recommend so you don't get like super brown bottoms on your cupcakes is to, when you scoop your cupcake batter into your liners, that cupcake tray should be sitting on top of another cookie tray that you put in the oven together. And having both of those together will really help for your cupcakes to stay this like nice white color. And it won't just get like super dark and burnt on the bottoms, which is super common for that to happen. And I also highly recommend doing the white paper liners. I don't like the colored paper liners. Most of them, they don't work really well with the grease that's in your cake. So if you use like butter or any kind of oils, which like all cake batters have that, the oils will just, you won't be able to see those nice, colorful, pretty cupcake liners. There's expensive ones out there that do work, but I just don't even recommend it. Just do these like nice white paper liners. They look really pretty. And, the top of your cupcake that you're decorating should say it all, right? So that's what I recommend starting with. Well, hi. Okay, so we're going to start with the we're going to start with the bunny cupcakes. Those are my favorite to make. They're super cute. I've made them the last several years. They're like one of my favorite character cupcakes to do. So we're going to start with a piping bag. These are super large piping bags. This brand is Cake. And Cake, these bags are nice and they're not like a thin plastic. They won't burst on you like other bags, but they're not so thick that it's hard to manage. So these are my go-to bags. Absolutely obsessed with these. And I don't know what size these are, but they're so large and they're perfect when you're piping hundreds of cupcakes all back to back. You want to be able to not have to refill your bag over and over and over again. That's so frustrating. Nobody likes doing that. So this is a large cake bag, and that's cake, one word. Both are K's instead of C's. And we are using, let's see, this is a large circle piping tip. And this one is an 809. It's the largest one that I can find, and it's my go-to for piping on cupcakes. Super fun there. And what I recommend doing is, I didn't put too much buttercream in this bag because I really don't need that much buttercream for these. I'm only doing like just a handful of cupcakes for this demo. But if you were doing a lot of cupcakes back to back, what I highly recommend is you do fill it up. And for those who don't know piping bags that well, you just open up your piping bag. And what you do is you flip it inside out. Okay, you flip it inside out like this, and then you cup it and just bring it down like this. You can add your piping tip into the bag. You would snip the bag just below the piping tip. You don't want to do it too far up, otherwise it'll kind of ruin your piping. But if you do it too far down, your bag will stretch a little bit as you're working with it, and your piping tip will just pop right out the end, and you don't want that. So yeah, you would just cut it like just right below, just enough that it stays there. Anyway, so you would do that, flip it inside out, and then you would scoop your buttercream. Okay, you would take your spatula, you'd scoop your buttercream, and you kind of use your hand as like a shelf, and you just keep scooping your buttercream into the bag. And as you go along, you can take the end here and pull it down. And then that way you can just keep scooping more buttercream, and you can fill this up pretty well. And, you know, while you're still getting used to it, don't fill up the entire bag. And, you know, doing this will keep it from spilling out the end. But when you're done filling it up, you just flip it inside out or right side out like this. And then you can have this whole huge piping bag. Now, I have pretty strong hands. I've been piping for years. But this, if we had this whole bag filled, this is too much buttercream for me to hold on to, okay? Even with my strong muscles that I've been building up for years, this is too much. So what you need to do is kind of split up your buttercream. Again, I usually have more buttercream than this, but split up your buttercream in your bag like this. And you're going to push some buttercream out the back. If you need to, get a bag clip and clip the back of this so that your buttercream doesn't spill out the back. I don't really need to do that myself, but yeah, you would split your buttercream in half like this. Okay, this is a lot easier to manage than trying to hold on to all this buttercream and, you know, being able to apply the right pressure as you're working with it. So you're going to take your hand like this. You're going to squeeze that bag with these two fingers, okay? And then you're going to twist the bag a little bit as well. Pinch that off, and then you have your 3 fingers back here. These 3 fingers are going to apply all the pressure, and this is so that you can ensure that you have perfectly applied pressure. You have full control over this. Because you've twisted this and you've pinched it together, you won't get any buttercream trying to spill out this way. It'll only come out this way. So you have full control of it. Okay. Love this. Okay. Okay. So we're going to start with the bunny because the bunny is the cutest one. It literally made my sister cry the first time I made this bunny. So we're going to take our, and maybe we'll bring this up here actually. Okay. We're going to take this piping bag and I'm just going to hold it straight up and down like this. You don't want it tilted. You don't want it squished to your cupcake. You don't want it too far up. You just want it like right above, straight up and down. And I'm just going to start in the center, go around in a circle, and come back to the center. And then I just kind of flick away with my wrist. And that way you get like a nice little top. I don't like the tops that like peak up. I think it looks ugly. So, you know, when you get back to the center, you just kind of stop squeezing your bag, you stop applying pressure, and then you just flick away with your wrist. Okay, so we have that so far. Now I'm trying to figure out. Okay. We are going to add the butt back here. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. So the butt is going to be back here. I'm just going to pipe a tiny little butt, just a little circle. Nothing too crazy, if you can see that okay. Hopefully this light isn't too strong. Okay. So we have this cute little butt, And if you want to, you can add coconut. Sometimes I just take shredded coconut and I just apply it to the butt to give it a like nice little cottony tail. Okay. I actually have coconut right here. So this is just shredded coconut. And you can just take a little bit of this and just carefully apply it just to that little butt. And you've got a cute little cottontail. Okay. Okay, now he needs a little face, right? So I'm going to, sorry, I'm trying to make sure that this is in the camera. So I'm going to take this piping bag, and instead of going straight up and down like we did before, I'm going to go slightly at an angle here. And I'm just going to pipe a little circle again. So start in the center. I'm going to go outwards a little bit, come back, and flick away. So I've got this cute little face that's coming about, right? Then there's a couple options for the ears. Let's actually do the eyes first. Let's see. Okay, for the eyeballs, I just have these like little sprinkles. These are just below the 6-slit size, so it's just the, I don't know, just the little round sprinkles. Can't remember what these ones are called right now. A little tired, but I have black ones and I have pink ones. So I'm going to use the black for the eyeballs. So I'm just going to apply the little eyeballs here. Okay. Little eyeballs, and then I've got the little pink nose. So just give that bunny a little nose. And then there's usually what I do for the ears, which unfortunately was not an option today because we're all in quarantine, right? Welcome to the quarantine life. It's a little crazy. But usually if I had this on hand, I would do the marshmallow. I only have mini marshmallows, so I'm going to show you what I usually do, but I'm not going to use these for the ears because that's just too tiny for my little bunny. And bunnies should have big, cute, floppy ears. So I would take this marshmallow, and then I'm going to use these scissors because it's the only ones I see on hand. But I'm going to take these little scissors, and I'm just going to cut this at a diagonal like this. Again, I would normally do this with those like super jumbo marshmallows, but I'm not allowed to shop right now. Okay, so I've got these like little triangle pieces, right? Now the side that you just barely cut, that inside is going to be sticky because it's the inside of the marshmallow. So you can just take pink sanding sugar, take that sticky inside of the marshmallow and just push it into that pink sanding sugar. And this gives you cute little ears. So I'm going to do that with the other one. Okay. Now pretend that, if you can see that okay, camera doesn't want to adjust when I get too close, but you can see that I have these cute little ears. You know, you have the white on the outside and the little pink insides. So what I would do is add my ears. And I guess these ones are okay. It's an okay size. But bunnies should have big, cute, floppy ears. So I'm going to take those out. Another option. Now, I already made these ears, and they've been sitting in the fridge for a little bit. But I made 2 ears out of modeling chocolate, and I'll make these in a second. But I have these 2 ears. I have one that's slightly bent over, and I'm just going to add those to my bunny. And now I've got this cute little bunny with cute little floppy ears. Super fun. And he has a cute little bum. Okay. Now to show you how I made those ears. Again, I love the marshmallow technique. I just love those big giant ears. But we are stuck inside. So instead, what I did is I took some modeling chocolate that I had on hand. I have pure white modeling chocolate. This is because I used super white super white compound coating instead of using actual white chocolate. So that way I can get like more of a pure white. So this is just, it's like fondant, but modeling chocolate just, it sets up quicker because you can just throw it in the fridge and it'll just immediately set up. Whereas fondant, you need to add like CMC or Tylose to it, and then you have to wait for it to just harden over time. And again, I just joined this collab last minute, so hey, welcome. Okay. And where's my rolling pin? That's okay. Okay. So I'm just going to use a little bit of powder here. I'm going to use a little bit of powder here. And I don't have my rolling pin. I thought I grabbed it, but it's not over here. So I'm just going to use this. And I'm going to roll this out. I don't want it too thick. I don't want it too thin. If it's too thin, it won't be able to hold itself up. But if it's too thick, then the weight of it, again, won't be able to hold itself up. So you just kind of have to find a happy little medium there. Okay, so I have thin modeling chocolate. Then I'm going to take pink modeling chocolate. So I pre-colored this pink. Okay. Roll this out. It does not want to roll out. That's okay. I really only need to show you one ear. So I'm going to roll out the pink a little bit thinner than the white because this is just going to be layered on top. Okay. Okay. So I have these two pointed oval cutters. I have one that's slightly smaller than the other one, and I've also pinched it together to make it skinnier as well. So I'm going to take the smaller one. I'm going to pinch it so it's super skinny. And I'm just going to cut. And when you're cutting with cookie cutters, it works really well to push it down and then you kind of move it around your table, and that will help get you a nice cleaner edge. So it's not super frayed. So I have this shape here. Then I'm going to take, actually what I'm going to do is water this down. Oh no, okay. Okay. So I'm just going to get this modeling chocolate a little bit wet. And I'm going to add this one on top of my white. And I'm going to take the bigger cutter that I have here. And I'm not going to cut perfectly like that, where the pink is centered in the middle. I'm going to offset it just a tiny bit. Oh, hold on. Okay. I'm going to off-center that just a bit. Okay. Pop that out. And now I have the ear. And do you see how that's slightly off center? So it's just on the inside, and that's how I cut it. And then I took one and I just put it in the fridge like this. And the other one, I just slightly curled it. like that. And I hardened it in the fridge like that. And then I just stuck them on top of my little bunny cupcake. So I made this one I made the ears for this a couple hours ago. So it's been sitting in the fridge for a while. Okay. Okay, next we're gonna work on the little chick cupcakes. Now those are super fun and super easy as well. So the chicks, let's see. Let's actually start with the coconut. So you're gonna wanna color your coconut. Chicks are yellow and they have like nice fluffy texture to it. So I like to achieve that with coconut. So this is pre-shredded, or it's shredded coconut, but then I shredded it even more just in like a Ninja blender. And we really don't need that much. And this part can get a little bit messy, so I like to put on gloves so that I don't color my hands like I normally do. It works better to do this part by hand. So I'm going to take some AmeriColor gel. It's my favorite brand. And it's just a really concentrated color. And I don't know, I just love the gel. So I'm going to take the lemon yellow and I'm going to just add some of that. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to pick it up, rub it together. Pick it up, rub it together. Do you see how easy it is to color your coconut? You can also color your coconut green, and that adds a nice little, those like green crinkle paper decor that you add to like Easter baskets and stuff. That's an easy way to do it out of edible items. Yeah, did you buy the bowl from Walmart? It's where I got mine, Walmart. They were like $1 each. I bought like 20 of them. Okay. So I've got a pretty good amount here. There's still some white pieces, but you get the point. Just rub it together and you're able to get like a nice colored coconut. I'm going to take yellow buttercream. Could probably get away with doing white as well. And this one, I don't like to do too much buttercream on it, but I'm just going to take my piping bag. Take your piping bag straight up and down and just squeeze. These yellows are slightly off, but whatever. So I'm not going to add too much. It's just a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it upside down and push it into that coconut. And when you push it down, it's going to spread your buttercream to the outer edges of your cupcake. So now I've got this like nice, you could add a little bit more buttercream, but don't go crazy on this one. This is like a flat chick. So we've got a nice little chick texture going on there. Okay. Now I've got more of this yellow buttercream and I've got a coupler at the end. The coupler is so that you can easily change it out. These are for the smaller piping tips. They all have like the same size. So you're able to easily swap them out and then you just screw this top back on. And that way you can, change your mind, do different things with it and not have to have a different piping bag for every single piping tip. That's just obnoxious. Okay. So this tip is a number 103. Now the 103 looks like a teardrop. That's adjusting. Okay. The teardrop is commonly used to make like flowers, especially roses. but this is what we're going to use to make the little wings on the chick. So the fat end of the piping tip, the bottom of your teardrop, that's going to be on your cupcake. So I'm just going to go straight on the other side of me. So this is facing me. I'm going to go facing away from me. I've got this teardrop and I'm just going to point it down, and the fat end is going to go into the buttercream a little bit. And all I'm going to do, if you guys can see that okay, I'm going to pipe out, back in, out, back in, out, back in. And then I'm going to stop applying pressure. So I've got a little wing going on there. Okay. Now I'm going to turn it around the other way. I'm going to do the same thing. Just on the outer edge, I'm going to go into the buttercream just a little bit. I'm going to pipe out, in, out, in, out, in. Okay. Oh, you did get it from Walmart. Awesome. Okay, so now I've got these cute little wings, you know, little chick wings are so adorable. Okay. I've got 2 more of these black eyeballs, and I'm just going to add these on top. On top. You just kind of have to push them in so that it gets past the coconut layer and it actually adheres to the buttercream. So right now I've got these cute little eyeballs poking out of its little like fluffy, cute body. And then I've got some orange buttercream. And I only have this orange buttercream in a big piping bag. Sorry about that. So the coupler, again, this is a coupler. So it's just a plastic piece with some like a thread on it. So I'm going to drop that in. With the threaded rod, I'm going to cut just above it. Before we're piping below, but this I'm going to pipe up above. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to use, let's use a number 5. So number 5 is a round piping tip. It's a little round piping tip. I think this is a good size for what we're going to do. So I have my coupler here. I'm just going to set this on top. The coupler is inside the bag. This tip is going to sit on the outside, and then you have your little outside screw part. And I'm going to screw this on. Okay. Again, I'm going to flip this inside out like so. And I'm just going to add a little bit of buttercream to this. We don't need too much. Okay. Flip that the right side out. I know, such a big piping bag for this. I don't have any small piping bags right now. Okay, so we have our little chick here. Again, so cute. And we want to add a beak to it. So I have the little round tip. And all I'm going to do is just go in a little zigzag and just make a little beak for him. So I'm going to pipe straight across, back, down, until I get to a point. So just a little zigzag. And then I want to add little tiny crow feet or chick feet, tiny little feet. So let's see, I'm trying to think of how to do this while you guys can see it. So I'm just going to do 3 lines, all starting at the same point. Okay. You guys see that? Okay. So we're going to go up, down, up, down, up, down. And again, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now we've got little feet poking out. He's so cute. Now our little bunny has a friend. So this is what we have so far. Cute little character cupcakes. Okay. Next, we're going to do a carrot sitting in dirt. So this, I would normally have chocolate buttercream. I do not have any on hand, and I don't want to be wasteful right now. But I do have white buttercream. So this one, I'm just going to pipe like a little circle. Actually, we're going to do a little flat surface. So this is the same thing as the chick. So the chick, all we did is we held the piping bag straight up and down. Oops. We're going to hold the piping bag straight up and down, and I'm just going to pipe. And again, this normally works better. It looks better if you do it out of chocolate buttercream. But from here, you have a couple options. So this is what I use for dirt on a lot of my projects. Now the dirt, all you have to do is take crushed up, or you have to take Oreos, throw it in your Ninja blender, whatever you have, and then throw in some graham crackers. And the graham crackers just adds a nice little flair to it. Just makes it look a little bit more like dirt. You see the graham cracker in there? Oh, this one actually has bone sprinkles from, from Halloween, but I did grab regular Oreos as well. Okay, so this is just regular crushed up Oreos. So you can see the difference a little bit. This just adds a little bit more to it. But we're going to go ahead and just use the crushed up Oreos as our dirt. Also, something I use all the time is I just crush up graham cracker just by itself. And that's what I use for sand on like my mermaid cupcakes and, you know, just anything beach themed. Just throw some graham cracker down. Okay. So I would take this, flip it upside down, and you would just push it into that dirt and kind of roll the edges as well. Okay. Want to make sure I actually cover up that white buttercream as much as possible. So now I have a nice little dirt layer. It's very cute, right? And you probably, this would work a little bit better with the smaller round tip, but I just grabbed like my super large round piping tip, and it's the same as before. It's an 809 tip. Okay. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to hold it straight up and down from my cupcake top. And you might want to actually, now that I think about it, you want the buttercream to be able to adhere to something because you have a lot of loose cookie on top. I'm just going to hole out a little center so that when you pipe buttercream, it's sticking to the other buttercream and it won't just plop, you know, if you tilt it even slightly, it won't just fall off because it only caught onto the cookies, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to hold this straight up and down, and I'm just going to start piping. I'm going to start in the center, and I'm just going to go push down a little bit, apply pressure. I'm going to stop, and I have one layer, so I'm going to do that again. Stop. I'm going to do it again. And there we go. We've got this cute thing going on. And my goodness. I've got stuff all over my table. Oh, here we go. So I can take my modeling chocolate. You just want to add some green tops, you know, like the greenery. You could pipe it on. It'd be a little bit flat though. If you want something standing up, maybe melt down some green chocolate, some green compound coating actually. And you could melt that down, put it in a piping bag, and then just like pipe it onto parchment paper. And then you would just let that harden, and then you could just peel that off and stick it right in when it does harden. I don't have any green on hand, but we can just take green food coloring, add it to your modeling chocolate. I'm going to have green hands here in a moment. There we go. I'm very festive. It matches my nails, right? Okay. Now you could roll this out. You could use the same cutters as before. This is what I use for the inner ear on the little bunnies, the little pink inner ear. Another thing, you could take this and just kind of, you know, pinch it and do like just 3 skinny frilly things coming out. You could also just roll it if you just want like little green sticks sticking out. I mean, it just kind of depends on what you're going for. I have really hot hands, so my modeling chocolate is already just way too soft right now. Okay, so I'm going to use this. It does look more realistic. I just saw the comment about the graham crackers. So when I do graham crackers, sometimes I'll throw in some like disco dust into there, you know, some of that glitter. Sometimes I'll add like little tiny, like little pieces of rock candy, or just like trying to think of other things I've done. Sanding sugar. I've taken sanding sugar with some luster dust and some disco dust as well. And I've, you know, you kind of rub that together and it makes like a nice sparkly silver and gold. And I've mixed those in as well. And then just adding like the other little pieces in there. It kind of looks like bigger pieces of sand, you know, like seashells kind of mixed in. And sometimes you can get creative with that. I don't always do that because it's just more work and more product that you go through. But kind of more on like my passion projects or just like really fun cakes, I do add a little bit more to the graham cracker. Okay. So I've got my green here. Again, this is the same thing as the inner ear on the bunny. I'm going to use this cutter and I'm going to pinch it just a little bit so it's more skinny. Kind of squish that around. Pop it out. Okay. Now I've got these 2 skinny pieces. Now I could do this like 3 times and then just stick them in like this. And then just like half of this would be sticking in the buttercream. And that way it has a lot to anchor to the cupcake. So that would be a really good idea. Ooh, my hands are so hot. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw these all onto this little tray. We'll come back to this. And it looks like we're near the end. We're going to stop in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to throw this in the fridge real quick. Welcome back. Hey. Okay, now we're going to do flour cupcakes. And I'm really surprised how quickly this hour has gone by. I can't believe we're almost finished. Okay, so I'm going to make some pink buttercream. I think pink would be really cute because we've got some pink going on with the bunny ears and the little bunny nose. And we've already got like orange and yellows. So let's just add a little bit more pink. Okay, so I had white buttercream back here already. And I've got this, I think this one is electric pink. I don't know. I don't know about your guys' bottles, but the names are always rubbed off and I can't tell what the color is called. So this one definitely, I use it all the time. I think it's electric pink. It's a really nice pink. Okay, I'm just going to add some of that to my buttercream. Like so. Okay, so we have a pink buttercream. I don't think I'm going to go too pink. I think this is already like a nice soft pink that looks really good with the bunny ears. So this is a nice soft pink. Again, I'm going to take my piping bag and let's do... Okay, we're going to do, this is a Wilton piping tip number 126. I use this all the time just to make cute little cupcakes when I don't really know how to decorate them, but I know it's going to, you know, like a little girl. It's just an easy, cute little crowd pleaser. Okay. This is just a large teardrop. So we've already used the teardrop for the little chick wings, and this is very commonly used to make a large variety of flowers, but this is a very large teardrop. And I think what I want to do is actually do a two-tone flower. So let's do white tips. I think that would be really cute. So I have some white in my piping bag, and I'm done with this piping bag. So you can just take like a spatula and just like add a little bit of buttercream going up the edge, or you can do it this way as well. So I'm just going to, I've got one piping bag inside of the other piping bag, and I'm just going to pipe some buttercream going up the edge. You see that? Nice little tunnel there. Okay. Now, I'm going to grab my pink again, and I'm going to fill up the rest of the bag with pink. Okay. I've got too much white trying to go at the end, so I'm just going to push some of this out real quick. There we go. Okay, so what you can do is after you've already done this and you're ready to pipe, you can push your buttercream out and see where the colors are going. Now, I want the flower to be mostly pink with just a nice little white tip. So the tip of your flower is just going to be this nice little delicate tip, the top of your teardrop. So I'm just going to twist that so that it lines up with the white, because the white is just going to be on the tip. And you can see if you can see the two-tone, the pink is really light, so that's hard to see with that lighting, isn't it? Oh well. Okay. And we're going to have to wrap this up soon. Okay, so this is just a nice, simple flower. I'm going to start with my teardrop, the fat end on the cupcake. That's going to sit on the cupcake, and the nice, delicate end is going to be the edges of your flower. So I don't want this flat, but I don't want it straight up and down. Do you see that? Not flat, not straight up and down. We're going to do, I think this is a 45-degree angle. So just sit at a 45-degree angle, and I'm not going to sit right at the center of the cupcake. I'm going to go out just a little bit. Trying to get this so you guys can see it okay. Okay, so I'm going to pipe out and back in. And I made it so that the petal sits up off the cupcake. And then I'm going to turn the cupcake just a little bit, and I'm going to tuck the next petal underneath that one I just made. So I'm going to tuck it underneath. I'm going to pipe out, back in. And I'm just going to keep doing that. Okay, and then if you want to, you can do a second layer on top of this layer. Out, in, out, in. And you just want to do this until you cover the whole cupcake in buttercream. This one does take a lot of buttercream, so you just have to be aware of that. So now I've got this cute little two-tone flower, nice and simple. Yeah. Well, I've done a lot of piping bags. Yes, I did make that look easy. Again, I used to work in a cupcake shop for about a year, and I've done a lot of piping. I also worked in a grocery store, so buttercream, I'm really good at it. I've had a lot of practice. So with this, you can take maybe like some little white nonpareils. You can also just take like little white, just like the circle pearls, I don't know. You can take any size pearls. It looks really pretty, just white ones, and just add it to the center. I don't have any right here. I'd have to go get it. So I'm just going to use the pink sanding sugar that we use for the marshmallow bunny ears. And I'm just going to add that to the center of my cupcake so that it does have a center. Nice and pretty. And we are almost out of time. So let me just finish off the carrot, and then I'm going to tell you guys where you're going from here for the next person. Okay, these got a little bit morphed because my hands are so hot. So modeling chocolate sets up really nice just sitting in the fridge. So we're going to come back to our little carrot. And these are, they're pretty stiff already. And I'm just going to plop that in. Plop that one in. And there we go. I'm just going to push it down until I like the height. Could have gone a little bit fancier with these, but that does look like a carrot, right? Sitting in dirt. Okay. Well, we are at the end of our time. I have filled my hour. This is the 2 to 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for joining me. And next up, you have, and I hope I'm saying this right. Next up is Chyna Bee Sweets. So, I joined up with a couple other cake decorators. I don't know if you guys saw what I posted, just barely letting you guys know about all these live demos. But there's going to be a couple more live demos after me, and we're all just live streaming from our own YouTube channels. So, thanks for letting me go first. Thanks for watching. And I hope you guys go and support all these other cake decorators during these crazy quarantine times. Our Corona quarantine. I don't know how to say that, but, it's just been a little bit nuts, and it's just nice to be able to reach out to everyone, and we're all going through this together. This pandemic is just absolutely nuts, and I have just been going stir crazy. But, I'm glad that you guys came and watched this. It's fun to do these tutorials. It gives me something to do. So thanks for getting me off the couch. It's pretty great. But yeah, so you have Chyna Bee Sweets is next. Let me pull up the other names. Let's see. If I can find it. So Chyna Bee Sweets, and then you have Very Cherry Cakes. She's going next after her from 4 to 5 p.m. And then there might be someone filling in the 5 to 6 p.m. slot. I have not had an update on that just yet, but okay, yeah, please hit the like button on my live, on everyone's live streams. And then the last person that's going is Jalena Simpson. So go check them out. They're all doing great tutorials. You'll learn how to make an Easter themed cake. You'll learn about local and food cottage laws, and you'll learn how to sculpt with modeling chocolate. We only did a little bit of modeling chocolate here, but there will be more to come. So, just sit and relax. What else better do you have to do right now? There's nothing else to do. So just sit at home, relax, watch these tutorials, have fun. The carrot is everything. Thank you. I personally love the bunny, but look how cute these are. Nice little gang here. And if you liked my Baked AF shirt, this will be on sale soon, shortly on my website. It is almost done. I'm just trying to figure out how to get that on my website, but you'll have this available. There's also mugs. They're really cute and nice and shiny. But I'm going to end here. Thanks for joining me. And I'm just going to hold this here for a little bit for those who want to jump onto the next live stream. So this is the information you need. It's Chyna Bee Sweets, and that's Chyna with a Y. And, oh, is that backwards? Well, then, I did not realize that would be backwards, so I apologize. But I think you can figure it out. If you can't read backwards, then I feel bad for you. So Easter-themed cake with Chyna Bee Sweets, and you just can type Chyna Bee Sweets into YouTube, or you can look her up on Instagram through this. Oh, no, it does look right? Okay. So I'm just going to hold this here. Thanks for watching. Okay, well, I hope you guys are jumping onto the next live stream. Hopefully this is enough time for you to figure it out. Thank you so much.